Hello again, and welcome to another build of the Back to the Future DeLorean. This is issue number 66, and today we are going to be putting on some of the door hardware and light controls for when the doors are open. So this is kind of a small parts one. There's a lot of screws and a lot of springs. I still don't think it's actually going to take all that long to do this, but we will see. The first thing we need to do is bring in the car, and we're actually going to flip her over, and we're going to be working inside the roof, which there's really no good angle for this for. What can you see best? We're going to be working right in here. Let's see if we can pull this. I can't zoom into that spot more. We'll try to do what we can. So, step one, we have to open up the packet here and get some parts ready. And hopefully we have all the springs we're supposed to have and we don't lose any. Okay, so I was afraid for a minute there that I was short a spring, but they were actually intertwined. And there are, like I say, a lot of very small pieces in this. All of the screws this week are AM screws, every single one of them. So I'm just going to get a whole bunch of those out here on the side to start with. So the basic concept this week is we're going to take a spring and one of these little pieces, and these fit together. The spring goes over that pin into the roof, and these are going to become the latching mechanism for the doors. So there's two per door, one in the front, one in the back on each side. Yeah, so they go in and they get covered by, they look like the wire couplers that we use. Wire covers, I suppose. They get covered by these holding the springs in. So we'll see how this goes. This definitely feels like the kind of thing that could launch a spring a good long distance. It's also just the kind of thing that my kind of shaky hands are not going to be good at. Okay, so that's one in. And again, I don't know how well this comes across on camera, but the plastic tab covers over the spring, two screws hold that in, and then the other piece will move back and forth. I'm going to go ahead and put the other three in exactly the same way. Definitely the smaller screwdriver helped. If you're doing this yourself, you want to make sure that your screwdriver has a really good bite on these screws, because they are very small. Oh, and for alignment's sake, when you're installing these and you're looking up from underneath, you want the side that has one step facing you, not the side with two steps. Okay, so that is all four of those installed in the roof area. I'd love to say that that was it for the fiddly pieces this week, but it is not even close. Now we are going to turn to the sides of the DeLorean to install the switches that let it know that a door is open, and thus to turn the lights on. So we're going to use a couple different sets of pieces. This is going to be the cover for the whole mechanism. I believe there is a left and a right, so I got to figure out which is which. Okay, so if the hole is on the bottom, you want it facing the front of the vehicle. So that one's going to be the driver's side. The other one's going to be the passenger side. I have these switch wires, and again, it matters which is which. So these are numbered 1 and 3, and H is number 1. So this is a wire with a little clicky switch on it. So I'll get that. And my least favorite part of all of this tiny, tiny little pin that's actually going to push on that. So this little pin fits in the opening up here. The switch goes behind it, and then that whole cover is going to go on. And that's the kind of thing I'm really afraid of, is making these pieces fly away, never to return. Okay, so it should go in so that it's sticking out in the front. Again, I don't know how well you can actually see that on camera. This cord, the plug end, just gets fed through behind it. And the switch is going to get installed into the cover. On the back side of the cover, there's a recess exactly shaped for the switch, with the pins, the exposed pins, facing away from the hole. This is going to take a minute. That's what I was really afraid of. I just dropped the piece. I'm never going to find it. I found it immediately. It just landed in the one spot that I could see it, so yay. Okay, so that was a nightmare. But we got our switch panel here. This presses on that switch to make contact. And now we have to just do the same thing on the other side. Okay, that might have been the single most nerve-wracking part of this entire car so far. The last thing we're going to do today is just route these wires so that they are out of the way and coming out the back. So they come up the side rails and then come back. And there's a couple of those little wire tabs for each side. So that should be, compared to what I just did, relatively easy, even though I hate these stupid wire tabs. So each wire is just going to come along up through here and out the back. Okay, so that is the cable routing there. They're not going to cross over like that, but you know, it's fine. That is our build for this episode. I really did not enjoy those fiddly little pieces, and I recommend that anyone else who's building this try to, you know, take deep breaths and not yell at your cat, things like that. That was stressful. My neck hurts just from looking at those pieces. But yeah, that's the build for today. If you like what you see, there's plenty of other episodes. You can subscribe by clicking on the cat. You can click on the bell for notifications when the new episodes come out. We generally do DeLorean builds on Saturdays and Ecto 1 builds on Wednesdays. Have a good one, guys.